Hello, everyone. We are back. I think I'm like a moment early. So, if you're here, say hi and let me know what you are. As I have water down below here, and then I always have here. So, if you're here, let me know and say hi. Tell me where you're joining from. And we're going to get started in just, let me find my notes for today. So if you are here, even if you're joining in the replay on the comments, I always think it's like a Zoom. So I talk as though I'm on a Zoom call and then I realize that, sorry, the glare. Um, Okay, so here we go. I think I said that like 4 times. If you're here, if you're joining live, tell me, what are you drinking this morning? Or how many cups of coffee have you had? So I had my cup of coffee. Weird story, has nothing to do with anything. And I came back from my ride. So like, walked out of the kitchen, did my Peloton ride, came back in the kitchen, and there were 2 bugs in it. Gross. I think I had put it under a little vase of flowers. So that was weird. So I hope your Monday, or good golly, what day is it? Friday. I hope your Friday started a little bit better. So, I mean, not that that was bad. Anyways, in the whole scheme of things, it's really not a big deal. Made a new cup of coffee. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Yesterday, we talked about who your ideal client is, what is it that they want, and why is that even important? So I would love to know if you did that homework. Did you get out that piece of paper and did you I'm getting some sort of, hey Jenny, I'm getting some sort of warning on there. I don't know what that means. Did you do the homework? Did you sit there and write out, one, who you are, and then then take that information and see how that correlates to who your dream client is. Who is this person? I'm going to assume for many of you, it's a woman. Now, it might be multiple, but I really want you to focus on one before you start adding multiple avatars. And it's fine to have multiple avatars. I think if you go to like Starbucks, every company is going to have a dream client, an avatar that they're really appealing to. So if you think of Starbucks, for example, the person who's buying like a flat white is not going to be the same person who's buying the cookie crumble frappuccino, right? They're appealing to 2 different people. And so that's okay to have multiple avatars, but for right now, as you're getting started, I really, really, really want you to focus on one. And I say that like really, really, really because I know how hard it is, because you want to figure out, okay, well, that's great, but I want then to appeal to this person and this person and this person. And you can just give it time, little by little, and get comfortable with speaking to this one person. And I promise you, other people are going to hear your voice, even if it's not your ideal client, but they're going to start seeing that, goodness gracious, Jenny, you are so specific about who your dream client is, about who your ideal client is. It starts to resonate with them. And they're like, okay, well, I might not be interested in that, but what do you have about this, that, or the other thing? So that if you're just getting started, that is my advice to you. And I would love to know what you put together. If you have a few little like highlights of who this person is, drop it in the chat, in the comments, and we want to take a look. Or after the workshop, you've created this person, put it up there. Take a screenshot of your piece of paper where you wrote everything down and throw it in the page. We want to look at it. We want to work through this with you. And I promise you, you putting it out there is going to help so many other people as well. So, okay, without further ado, we're going to get started. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to remind you, take a picture during this workshop at some point or a screenshot, throw it up in your stories. Remember, it's telling your network that you are serious about growing your business. It is also showing your team, again, whether it's a team of 100, a team of you, or somewhere in between, it's showing them that you're leading by example, that the training you get within your company is fantastic, but there are going to be ways and areas where you just need a little extra training, more specified training. So today we're going to get into the meat. And again, these are just some big, broad brushstrokes over how and when. It's going to be short, sweet, and to the point. I promise I want to get it to you, like give it to you rapid fire, but it's all saved here. You can listen to it again. So have you ever heard the quote, something along these lines, what got you here won't get you there? So more than likely, and if you don't yet, that's okay, do it now. You have goals. You started this business and you have some goals. I'm a huge fan of goals, big goals, smaller goals, bite-sized goals, the whole things. So whatever, let's just take your promotional title where you're at right now, whether it's a volume title, it's a team title, like however your company is structured. So let's take where you're at right now. What you've done to get you to this point is amazing. Give yourself a little applause, a pat on the back. It's absolutely amazing, and it needs to be celebrated. But the reality is, what got you to where you are right now is not going to get you where you want to be. There has to be little changes. What you're doing right now and investing in yourself, investing time into training, into learning, into growing is a huge step into doing something different to get you where you need to go. So if you understand who you're talking to, that's fantastic, but it's not enough. So yesterday we talked about the trust zones. Knowing who you're talking to is a fantastic place to start, but it's just that. It's like I said yesterday, it is the tip of the iceberg. So understanding who is fantastic. Yesterday we talked about those trust zones. So let me bottom line it. I am such a fan of bottom line. Like when I go and take the car into the mechanic, they always want to tell you everything that they did. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. How much is it? Just tell me how much is it. You can tell me all the other stuff later, but I need to know the bottom line first. So let's bottom line this right now. You're starting conversations and building relationships because you want those conversations ultimately to end in a sale or them joining your team, right? Drop right into the comments if you're like, yes, that's what I want. I want to build these conversations or build these relationships. I mean, we all like talking to people. It's great. But the reality is you probably don't need too many more friends. You probably aren't spending time with the friends that you already have built relationships with. So there is a purpose in your, thank you, Jenny. Yes, amen. So there is a purpose in building these relationships. This is your job. Your job is to build relationships. So there is nothing wrong with starting these relationships so that you can see if they're a good fit for your products or your business. So think of it kind of like dating. So if you're already married or you're in that dating process, you see that person and they tick a lot of boxes. So initially, of course, it's the physical. Like you go, oh, okay, yeah, he's nice looking. This could work. But what the dating does is it really takes it further. You go, okay, well, like everything I've seen is great, but now spending more time together, you realize, yes, this is someone who I could build a future with. Or you say, no, this is not someone I want to spend a future with. And that's exactly what you're doing here when you are building these relationships. You look at their profile, their social media, and you're like, yeah, this person looks great. They look like my ideal client. You're making assumptions, generalizations, and the conversations is what's going to move it to that next level, that dating where you go, okay, no, everything I see on the screen is absolutely my ideal client. So here's what I want you to do. And again, we talked about this yesterday. I want you to remove the screen and imagine that you're actually in front of this person. It is absolutely going to transform the way that you send messages and the way in which you communicate. Another way that I highly recommend you level up and even you want to be that unicorn, you want to transcend and go against the grain, send voice messages. Send voice messages. Yes, people aren't doing that. It takes 1 minute. Like on Instagram, you have it 1 minute. Send a quick voice message and it's going to make you stand out from everyone else. Plus, they get to hear your voice. If I said, hey, what is going on? Versus a text, hey, what's going on? Like, unless you really know me, you probably don't know the intonation that I'm going to put out there. So anyways, that was like a little right turn there, squirrel. So removing that screen. So if we're going to, again, bottom line sales and bottom line moving your dream client through those trust zones, then there are 2 things you have to be willing to do. Okay? 2. Ready? Ask questions and be consistent. I am going to venture to say that that is not a newsflash for you. You're not like, oh my goodness, I have never heard that before. It's kind of like when you start budgeting, you're like, wait a second, I have to spend less than I make? No, of course, you know that. It just all of a sudden it hits at the time where you're like, I'm ready to hear that. So 2 things you need to do. You need to be willing to ask questions and you need to be consistent. So if you want to ask the big questions, would you like to try my products? Are you open to business opportunities? If you want to ask those big questions, then you have to be willing to ask the small questions and do it consistently. Okay, put consistency in the comment if you are all over this. You're like, yes! I cannot tell you how many times I am with a coaching client and I ask them, are you being consistent? And you know what I get is the like, well, I mean, that lack of consistency is going to kill you more than anything else. You could put up all the most amazing content, but if you're not consistent, that's what's gonna kill you. If you are consistent, that's what's gonna make you different. So here's the thing about consistency. Most people give up because they haven't heard from someone in a day or 2. This has happened to me, and I know that it's happened to you. Do you always respond right away? No, right? No, we don't always respond right away. They're the same. The person you're reaching out to, the person who you're having that conversation to, maybe you send them a message and guess what? Life got in the way. They got busy and they didn't respond right away. It's okay. That happens. It happens to all of us. In fact, I tell people I have 2 speeds. I have immediate or within the year. So please do not feel bad to shoot me another message saying, hey, Michelle, did you get that? Because if I didn't respond, I either saw it and couldn't respond at the time or I just never saw it. I guarantee you it's not me ignoring you. So they're the same way. Your job is about being consistent, showing up, making the connections, asking the questions, and adding value. So if you truly want to be that unicorn, then you're going to keep showing up, and not in the annoying way, I mean, I think that goes without saying, in the consistent, I love what I do way. So did you know that 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect? 48%. That's huge. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Have you quit after the first 2 contacts being like, oh, I don't want to be annoying. Oh my goodness, she didn't answer. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Now listen to this stat. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. 5th to 12th contact. I know that this is absolutely the case. Now, a contact does not necessarily have to be you sending a message. It could be the 5th to 12th time them seeing your content. It could be a myriad of different things. So I always tell the story of when we started being locked down last year. what did we all do? We started like scrolling through stuff, right? We were looking, seeing all kinds of things. And I had seen these hair products for a very long time and dismissed it and was like, whatever. Finally, when I was just sitting there scrolling, we couldn't go anywhere. I saw it again. And I don't even know how many times I had seen this, but it was finally the right time. It was like timing and my timing. Her consistency and my timing met, and boom. And now I own a ton of these hair products. I love them. They're great. So if 80% of sales are made on that 5th to 12th contact, if that doesn't give you the motivation to keep going, I don't know what will. So here's a absolute example just happened this week. I got a message from a friend. We'd been talking, maybe 2-3 months ago about different products. And she was super, super interested, but it was a financial barrier. So we went through all the things, like we covered A to Z. There wasn't any reason for me to, it was kind of left in her court. Like when the time was ready, she was going to let me know. Out of the blue, Wednesday, I think it was, 9 o'clock at night, I get a text saying, I want your stuff. LOL. I don't know what changed for her, but I know I've been consistent. I know I share and I show up. So I don't know what the perfect formula was for her, but it was my consistency plus her timing, and it made that perfect marriage. So this is not an isolated situation, and I know that you can look back at a time where those very similar things have happened. And she is my ideal client because my content is very clear talking to her. It resonates with her. So how do you use this information to convert to a sale? How do you take who your dream client is, what her pain points are, what she's Googling, and convert that to a sale? Or adding to your team. Friend, you show up consistently and you talk to her every single day. You solve her problems. You tell her what's in it for her. Change one little word in your messaging. Don't talk about how it changed you. Don't say, I feel this, I feel that, I feel, you. You are going to feel whatever. Your skin will look da-da. Your gut will feel blah, blah, blah. Tell them how it's going to make them feel. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if your feed is cohesive. I mean, it's nice. We don't really want to look at a hot mess, but you don't need to. Remember a few years ago when everyone was like, I use this filter on all of my pictures. And you're like, oh my goodness gracious, I don't have time for that. I either post or I don't post. So it's nice, but it would be far better if your message were clear and you're adding value every time you get on there. Sprinkle in your family, sprinkle in your life, sprinkle in all that you have going on, because the reality is someone's going to buy from you because they know, like, and trust, right? And all of that, your family, your products, the way you come across, all of that is working together. Social media is a business tool. Use it. I mean, it's free. So why not, right? So that's it's really that simple. Once you understand who you're talking to, create your content so you're talking directly to that person. And in the course, we talk about specific scenarios that I've had where I move people from trust zone 1, where we just met, we are like as cold of a contact as you can be, to hot, ready to buy, ready to join. And we talk about those things. We talk about moving through those trust zones, when, how, all the things. I give you my BOCU formula for formulating your responses to messages. It's super simple. I know for myself, sometimes I make it bigger than it needs to be. I make it more confusing than it needs to be. And I'm sure that you are guilty of that as well, because we see all these people doing all these things and we think, oh my goodness, it's got to be like a 48-step process to do da. I'm breaking it down for you, giving you my 4-step BOCU formula to show you how to respond to those messages. You're going to get an Instagram audit for free. If we are Instagram friends and I've messaged you, I've likely looked at your Instagram page. And I'm telling you, not just yours, but there's a ton out there where it is super confusing. I heard it said the other day, I was listening to someone that was saying, your Instagram, like your that nine, your Instagram feed is your storefront. So if you're walking in the mall and you have all of these shops there, are people going to stop? Is your bio clear? Are your pictures, are they clean? It doesn't have to be perfect and flawless and all that kind of stuff, but is it clean and clear? And so many other things. So we go through that. I show you exactly what to do and how to make your bio very clear, how to make your Instagram super clear. We go through and audit that whole thing. You're going to get the ABCDs of starting conversations. You have access to the student community and lifetime access to the course, plus a huge, super deep discount on any one-on-one coaching sessions that you want as you're going through the Niche into Success course. And as you know, because I told you yesterday, you can save 10% by going to bit.ly/niche into success and using the coupon code NIS10. Friend, I told you I was going to rapid fire this because I want you to get this information. And if you walk away from here and you don't buy the course, totally fine. You can take everything that you've learned here and get started. I want you to ask questions, ask leading questions, ask questions that require a response other than a yes or no. One of my business mentors says, the person who asks the most questions is the person who's in control of the conversation. Ask genuine questions. Leave genuine comments on people's feeds, on people's posts. Like, be genuinely interested in what they have going on. And it will show through. Go into their stories. What I tell my team all the time. You don't know where to start? Start with their stories. Go into someone's story that you have ticked the boxes, like she's the right age, she's, she has all those things that you are looking for. She's interested in health, she's interested in exercising, like whatever your ideal person is. And go into her stories and start responding for a couple of days, leaving comments. You know what's awesome about stories is it goes straight to her DMs. People are more likely to respond and let the barriers down in their DMs. So take what you've learned about who your ideal client is, what her pain points are, what she's struggling, how your products solve those problems for her, where she's hanging out, like who is this person, why this is all important, because she trusts you. Once she trusts you, then she's going to be willing and interested to hear what you have to say. The more she understands that you're actually interested in her, then she's going to be interested in potentially purchasing your products if it meets her needs. And talk to her. Talk to her. Imagine, go on Google, and I think I Googled like a 48-year-old mom or something like that, and I found a picture that was Julie. Totally Julie. Like, she was hip, she was fun, she had a few kids, she's in her 40s, into exercise, like the whole thing. And I was like, okay, this is who I'm talking to. So when I'm creating a post, I'm thinking of Julie. And it makes it so much easier. I mean, you could sit there and write, hey, Julie, oh my goodness gracious, like whatever. You are going to love this product because XYZ. Talk to her, be conversational. Imagine that it's your friend, right? And it is going to transform the way that you do business. So ask questions, be consistent. Be consistent all day, every day. When somebody new joins my team, they ask, how long do you spend in your business? And I said, that doesn't matter. Be consistent. If you have 30 minutes a day, do it 30 minutes a day. If you want to show up and build an audacious business, then you need to be showing up every single day consistently. You don't need to be a slave to it. So did I drive that home? Okay, friend, like I said, if this whet your appetite, you were like, oh my goodness, okay, this is great, but I want more, then the Niche into Success course is absolutely for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to move through those trust zones. I'm going to give you that BOCU formula, showing you how to formulate those responses to messages. You're going to get the Instagram audit for free. You're going to get the ABCDs of starting conversations for free. You get access to the Growth Against the Grain student community, or is it Niche into Success student community? I can't remember what I called it now. Lifetime access to the course, plus a super deep discount on any one-on-one coaching sessions that you need while you're going through the course. Through Sunday, you can save 10%. Go to bit.ly/niche into success, use the coupon code NIS10, and you'll save 10% right there at checkout. So if you are ready to grow your business, then you'll absolutely want the Niche into Success course. So grab your phone, take a picture, post it up on stories, tag me at hey.it's.Michelle Castro. You'd think I'd know what my Instagram handle is by now. But go do that, because it's really just showing those around you that you are serious about your business. Okay, we're done. I told you it was going to be rapid fire. Does anyone have any questions? We have like a minute or two. And if you're here, I would love to know like what questions you might have. And I'll go ahead and answer it. And if not, no worries. You can always shoot me a message later and or put it in the comments, and I will definitely take the time to answer that for you. If you've done the homework, take a picture of it, throw it up on the page. We would love to take a look at it and support you as you are really fine-tuning and figuring out who your dream client really is. And then I want to hear how it worked. I want you to tell me when you start talking straight to your Julie, how it feels, how the responses that you're getting, because I promise you it will happen. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I would get these messages from people on my team like, I love what you're doing. I love I love it. Like, it's really good. Keep going. And it didn't have anything to do necessarily with the aesthetics of my posts. It was that my messaging was getting super clear. So, okay, if no one has any questions, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun to do this workshop. And if you have any questions about the course, any questions about the workshop, any questions about anything that we've talked about, you know where to find me. Leave me a message here, shoot me a DM, email me, pretty much everything but carrier pigeon is what I use. So, okay, have a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to grab the course if you want it. Save 10%, and I'll put all of that in the notes. Talk to you later.